You were probably led to believe, just like I was, that trading was the way to a financial freedom, that vehicle that would let you retire early, leave the job that you dislike, wish your boss good luck, and walk out for the last time. Maybe some people deceived you. Maybe some got lucky and became your teacher, your guru. Maybe some genuinely wanted to share what worked for them. But I think, regardless of their intention, they were teaching trading through the lens of their own life, not yours. And that matters a lot more than people think. Some of these people do this professionally. They have the time to stare at charts 8 to 10 hours a day. Some make most of their money selling courses. Some trade with no real responsibilities. They don't have kids, no jobs, no one really that depends on them. And then there is you, a 9 to 5, limited time. Perhaps you have some kids. Maybe you are pursuing a master's degree on the side. Or maybe you even have to have a second job just to stay ahead. The same advice gets handed to everyone, but the reality is completely different. And that really is the lie. I was one of those people as well. 9 to 5 job, family, responsibilities, certain things that I had to do on the side, a full life. And I was looking for a way out, not because I hated work, but because I preferred freedom, freedom of location, freedom of time, freedom of choice. And the fact is that, like many other people, I thought there had to be a faster way. And that's when I fell for Forex. The fast charts, the fast feedback, 24-hour markets, pretty large leverage, and the dream of risking little to make a lot. And how do most of us start? Well, pretty simple. We find someone who seems to know more than we do. And YouTube is full of them. How I make $10,000 a week. The only strategy you need. How I retire trading 15 minutes a day. And honestly, it was inspiring because you think, man, if they can do it, then so can I. But no matter how much I watched, I continued to fail. And the truth was that it wasn't because I lacked discipline. It was because I lacked patience, and I was borrowing a system that was designed for someone else's life. Someone else's life that I did not have. And that sentence changed everything for me. You've heard the quote, "Don't put all eggs in one basket." So while I was actively trading, I kept investing. Slowly, quietly, almost boring. And I waited for discount prices. I wanted to buy quality setups. And then I held. It was slow. It was painfully slow. Sometimes months before any opportunity would show up. Other times it could have been years, right? But while I was actively trading and struggling, that slower method was outperforming everything. It was outperforming my active trading, for sure, because I was failing, but even the S&P 500. And that forced me to stop and to think, why was the boring method working better than anything that I had going on that was exciting? That question changed my framework. And what I realized was the following. I never really stopped trading because somewhere along the way, I truly fell in love with it. And it wasn't because of the money, but it was the process itself, the structure, the self-development. And trading became like a mirror. a mirror for patience, for discipline, for my emotional control. And I realized making money was just the byproduct. The real thing I was trying to build was a system which was built for my life, not someone else's. And that's where the framework was born. I established few filters. Filter number one was to always trade in a strength. And filter number two was to only buy at discount level. And then a filter number three was to wait for a confirmation, to truly wait before entering. Then the rest was really managing whatever you have entered intelligently. That was it. It was simple, but it wasn't easy. It was just simple method of doing and following these three filters. And when I look back at all the trading lessons the algorithm kept sending at me, almost all of them had one thing in common. There was complexity, there was multiple indicators, complicated rules, confusing market structure, fancy names, special patterns, secret entries. And it always felt very powerful because you think that, man, if I learn this complexity, then I have a valuable system. I will feel valuable. But when you try to do it yourself, it fails. And when it fails, there's always an explanation. Oh, you had the wrong daily bias. You entered way too early. You ignored the earning call. You needed one more candle. It wasn't the ideal setup. And suddenly the strategy is never wrong. Only you are. And that's when I understood something. Complexity is very easy to sell. The simplicity is what actually compounds. And that brought me to what I believe is the biggest thing in trading. That complexity does not create profits. Alignment does. Alignment with the market, alignment with your time, and especially alignment with your lifestyle. Because the truth is, the best system in the world means nothing if your life cannot support it. And once I understood that, then everything changed. Thank you all for your attention today. And until next time, bye-bye.